Okay, welcome back. Last time we challenged Rourke at the Orberg Gym and earned ourselves our first badge. And, okay, I'm gonna be totally honest. Transparency time. Much like with Spyro and the Sacred Cards, you know, both of those playthroughs, I am having to re-record this episode. At the time I'm re-recording this, I'm up to Canalave City. So basically, my options here... Basically, I found myself with two options. I could either just re-record this episode, or I could re-record everything from here, but honestly, I don't want to have to go through all of the grinding again, because I've ended up doing a fair bit of grinding. So, pretty much, I'm just going to re-record this episode, and it should just be the Valley Windworks. Like, pretty much all I end up doing in this episode is everything around Valley Windworks and catching my encounter there, and also my encounter on Route 205, which, just for the fun of it, I will look and see what my encounters would have been, but basically I caught a level 9 female Drapion at the Valley Windworks that has Poison Heal. So, you know, Poison Heal, not exactly useful because it does nothing because we can't get poisoned. And then, on Route 205, I caught a Gorbis with Modest Nature and has Speed Boost. So yeah, Gorbis is kind of really good. Slight spoiler, I do add it to the team. And also, spoiler, in the original recording of this episode, nothing dies. So basically, imagine this is the filler episode. Like, consider this a filler episode because it's just a re-record. So, honestly, this one might end up being way shorter than others, who knows. Maybe things will go faster this time through it. Basically, it did the same thing as what the other ones did, where I tried to put it into the editing software and it basically went, hey, can't use this. So what I think I might do is I might try to upload the original cut of the episode. I say the original cut, like I actually managed to get any of it edited. Like, I might, like, what I will do is I will attempt to record, I'll record this, and then alongside it in the description, if I can get it to work, I'll upload the original episode as well, just so you can see what this was meant to look like. However, I will mention in advance, that episode will not be able to be edited in any way, shape or form, so the game audio will be way too high, and basically the game audio will be way too high, and I'll probably barely be audible. So, just telling you that in advance, and on the off chance that I do manage to get that to work. And honestly, it's also entirely possible that I manage to now rerun through this episode in about 15-20 minutes, whereas the original cut was 28 minutes, half an hour. So, basically, all we actually do in this episode is fight these two we fought those two trainers, technically free because one was a double battle. Now we run over here, we talk to this kid who tells us, hey, can you go, like, find my dad? Because, you know, they are at the Valley Windworks. And now, we just run back here, we fight two trainers. Like, we fight two more Galactic grunts who are, you know, hassling a guy because they want to get some honey. You know, because they are planning to steal honey, because that's Team Galactic's big plan. It isn't actually Team Galactic's big plan, they have, you know, actual plans revolving around energy from the Windworks. So yeah, they're just like, hey, hand over that honey, they want to attract Pokemon in great numbers, I guess. Also, this doesn't work, guys, come on. It's like, yeah, how does them beating me in a Pokemon battle make me be quiet? I don't see how that works. Either way, I don't really think they're going to be that much of an issue. However, I will just state it right now. So, obviously, with this being a re-record, it means there will end up being just some discrepancies from this episode to the next one. Hopefully they aren't too jarring, but like, some things might end up a bit different. but I'm still going to, like, attempt to try to keep them in line so nothing gets too far out of control. But yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest, you can kind of just skip this episode, because, like, nothing dies. Like, nothing dies. Because, basically, this is just a re-record, once again. And yes, I know I've said that, like, 8 times in the last 5 minutes. But I just want to make sure that everyone understands, like, this is just a one-time deal. Hopefully I won't have to do this for another episode. Because honestly, the fact that I'd shenanigans my way into actually having a save state here to begin with, honestly, that's a miraculous coincidence that if it hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't be believing, even to start with. And basically, I found myself just with 2 options. It was either, well, no, 3 options. It was either stop the playthrough entirely, or I could start the playthrough again from here and just do everything over again and have to redo all the grinding. Or I could just re-record this episode, and honestly, yeah, I just wanted to redo for 1 episode. I feel like that was the safest, easiest way to do it. So anyway, those 2 guys now gone, and they also leave a windworks key, which we can now use to, well, get the windworks. And also, these guys, well, this guy will now give us some Pokemon honey that we can use, and basically we can now just buy that from him for the rest of the game. We won't need it, but honey trees are indicated by, well, these honey-coloured trees. And basically you throw honey on the tree, and you come back, I think it's like 6 or 8 hours later, and a Pokemon will be attached to it. And the honey trees are one of Gen 4's unique mechanics that never came back. And honestly, I think that's probably for the best, because there's basically 2 main Pokemon you want from this. I guess Combi as well if you really want a Vespiquen. But the 2 main ones that you would want are Heracross, because it's Heracross, obviously, or Munchlax, because Munchlax is kind of ridiculously rare in this game. It's so hard to find. I think it's like at the when you start the game, like when you start the game. Let's pick up this item real quick. Lemonade, cool. Basically, when you start the game, your OT determines where Munchlax will appear, and I think it's like 4 trees in the entire game where it can appear, and honestly, it's just a giant hassle. And let's see, you know what? Just for reference, Drapion was my actual encounter, but I just want to see what else I could have had here. And also, while I'm on the topic of Drapion, there it is. Actually, I should try to catch this thing, just to be like, hey, just to, like, properly show the Drapion. Because, I'm gonna be honest, where I'm up to in the playthrough, mild spoiler, it's never left the box. Like, the longest it was on the team was the longest it's been on the team was the walk for me to put it into the PC. And also, it apparently doesn't want to stay in the ball this time. But yeah, also, Drapion is an alarmingly deceptive Pokemon. And by that, I mean Drapion is, like, this can't have only happened to me. I refuse to believe that I'm the only person this ever happened to. But yeah, that's Poison Heal. I think the actual one I have is Bold. It's either Bold or Lonely or something. I don't remember exactly which one it is. But yeah, basically, Drapion is one of the most deceptive Pokemon I've ever seen, because I refuse to believe this only happened to me. The first time I was playing through Pokemon Diamond, because I got Diamond, not Pearl, when I was a kid. You know, you go into the Elite Four, you see Aaron, he talks about his bug types, so you send in your Infernape or your Staraptor, you know, your thing that can fight bugs really well. And then suddenly, you know, you're one-shotting his Mothim, his Heracross, his Beautifly, his Dustox. Wait, I don't think he... No, wait, he doesn't have a Mothim. He has a Vespiquen. So you knock out all of those, and then it says he's sending in his Drapion. And you think, okay, fair enough, easy. Easy money, I'll just one-shot this, just like all of his other bugs. And then you hit it, and it isn't super effective. And you're just left to wonder, what's happening here? Also, this guy is not going to let us in, and we're going to make him look stupid. So basically, you fight Aaron, he sends out his Drapion, you hit it with your fire or your flying move, and you're just like, why is this not super effective? What's happening here? Because you'd assume that he would have all bugs. And technically he does, but Drapion is not bug type. It's Poison Dark type, because it evolved from Skorupi, which was a bug. And, like, that was a moment where I felt betrayed as a child. It was just like, the game has lied to me. Also, this guy mentioned that his teammates at the Flower Patch have already... Yep. My teammates have the other key. Sure, it'd be a shame if we'd already, you know, gone, beaten them up, and taken that key. Now this man looks like an idiot. Okay, so basically, Drapion deceived me as a child. And I refuse to believe I'm the only person this happened to. And, honestly, Sinnoh's Elite Four and Diamond and Pearl is kind of all over the place to begin with. Like, I know Flint is, like, the main offender for this, because they just didn't put fire types in original Sinnoh. It's like, hey, I got Rapidash, I got Infernape, I have literally every fire type in the game. And then it's like, I have 3 Pokemon with Sunny Day. Actually, no, I think one of them has Fire Blast. I think one of them has Fire Blast, all of them have Sunny Day, and one of them maybe has Will-O-Wisp. Maybe Veloppany has... Maybe Veloppany has Fire Punch, I don't remember. Either way, I know that Flint's team in original Diamond and Pearl has long since been memed for him being a Fire-type Elite Four member with basically no Fire types. Like, Bertha's doing just fine, Aaron's doing just fine, Lucian is doing just fine, and Cynthia's team is really good. And Cynthia's team only gets better in Platinum where they swap out... I think they swap out Gastrodon for Togekiss, and that's really strong. Like, Cynthia's original team in Platinum is genuinely fantastic. It's what, like, Spiritomb, Lucario... Milotic, Togekiss, Roserade, Garchomp. Like, that is a really solid team. Like, that is a phenomenal team. Also, I feel like it's very on brand that Cynthia would be the character who manages to find a Milotic, because finding a Feebas in Diamond and Pearl is also a giant pain. Okay, so what does this guy have? Okay, collecting electricity from the windworks, that's their mission. Fair enough, Team Galactic do have all sorts of missions going on. This guy has a Delcatty. Okay, Delcatty is not really an issue. Oh, also, I'm using Gax a lot in this episode, and we got hit with Sing. Great. Alright, I'm just gonna mention this now, and skip ahead like 10-15 seconds if you're particularly bothered about minor spoilers. Where I'm up to, Gax has evolved into Sceptile, and it no longer has Pure Power, it has Damp, and it's nowhere near as good. Okay, minor spoilers are over. Also, okay, this Delcatty just went for Double Slap, and I think I have a kind of explanation for Double Slap. Because you know how everyone basically goes, Double Slap, double means 2, so why can it hit up to 5 times? Like, I always assumed that it isn't specifically saying they are slapping you twice. I always assumed it was like, they're hitting you with the forehand and the backhand. Like, I always assumed that's what they were going for. So they could just do that multiple times. Because, like, the animation shows was that in Gen 4 onwards. And also, funnily enough, I can actually tangent back around to another thing about the Elite Four now. Hippopotas is really cool, and I think the only time you see a Hippowdon if you haven't used one before the Elite Four is there's one guy in Victory Road with a male one. So I hadn't seen in the I didn't know there was a difference between the two. So when I fought Bertha the first time and she just throws out a black Hippowdon, I was thinking, where are the shine sparks? Did she not just throw out a shiny? And no, it just turns out that the coloration between the male and the female Hippowdons are more, there's a much larger difference between male and female Hippowdon than there is in shiny and not shiny Hippowdon. And I've always thought that was really weird. I think it's kind of cool, but also just really weird, and I was convinced that she had a shiny. But obviously, I hadn't actually seen I hadn't seen Hippowdon. The only reason that I stopped thinking that it was a shiny was I looked at it in the Pokédex and was like, oh, that's just apparently the male and female ones are just that different. Okay, so let's just quickly run back in here and have our fight with Mars, who also kind of scary because, you know, well, I feel like Mars was this game's wake-up call boss, or at least the first of them, because her Perugly doesn't mess around. Also, she introduces herself as one of the 3, no 4 commanders, and yeah, basically just people have shown little understanding about what Team Galactic does. Maybe that's because Team Galactic shows little understanding of what Team Galactic plans to do. And to be fair, she does basically go, okay, fine, if you win, we'll leave quietly, but if we win, just go away. Also, this is where they introduced Karen, I don't know how it's pronounced. Either way, in the game, he is the most useless, pointless character. He is just there. But I'm pretty sure he's, actually important in the Adventures manga, but, in the game, he's nothing. He's a nothing character. Also, not gonna lie, I am feeling kind of threatened by the Golbat. Okay, there we go. So we bring down the Golbat, and what's her second Pokemon? Camzots goes up a level, and in comes Weavile. In the original recording of this episode, I get really excited about Weavile, because I really like Weavile. And then I go outside, and I get my encounter on Route 205, and it's the Golbat. And I'm not too happy about the Golbat until I look at its stats and ability. And then I think about it. This Weavile has a Chople Berry. And then I run around to see what my other potentials and encounters were. And then I'm kind of bugged by the fact that one of my potential encounters on that route was Weavile, and I didn't get it. However, I do end up using Golbas on the team, and this Golbas is so strong. It's so helpful. Genuinely, my opinion of Golbas has massively increased since starting this playthrough. Okay, so I do like how Mars is just you know what, I enjoyed fighting you. I might have lost, but that's fine. But yeah, they've collected plenty of electricity, so now they can just leave. Also, yeah, I do like how none of the other commanders of Team Galactic, none of them like Karen, because he sucks. But yeah, said they had to gather Pokemon and energy no matter what, creating a new universe. And yeah, pretty much now we rescue Visca. His daughter is very happy to see him. And now the balloon Pokemon will come again. This basically just means on Fridays, Drifloon will appear here. Which, knowing the, Pokedex entry of Drifloon is kinda messed up that a kid would be so excited to see one. But yeah, Team Galactic run away, look, turns up, we explain what we did, and now he runs back inside to basically corroborate our story. And then he just kinda pops back out and be like, hey, you did good. and yeah, never go to Eternity, and well, off he goes. Okay, and you know what, just like we did, what? No, Giraffion, we already caught you. And you know what, just like we did previously, just like we did with Drapion, I'm gonna run around in the grass just for a little bit and see what my encounter would have been if I was doing the re-recording entirely. Like if I was starting the series again from here. Sandslash. Honestly, I wouldn't have been too mad about a Sandslash. Obviously my encounter is still the Gorbus, but what else could we have had? Well, there's that Weavile. Also, I'm gonna be totally honest. Weavile has one of the that's a legendary. What could we have had here? Wait, that's Dialga and Palkia's music. That's not a Dialga or Palkia, but okay. But yeah, so apparently we could have had a Deoxys here. But again, we have the Gorbus. Also, we could have had a Girafarig. But yeah, basically we got a Gorbus and it has speed boost and it's modest. And honestly, I'm very happy with it. Minor spoiler alert again, it's currently still on the team. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'll encounter one more thing and I'll just run back and save and end off the episode. Because now I can actually, because basically I just need to re-record this up. Okay, we could have had a combi, that would have sucked. Actually no, it's a female combi, so it could have at least become a Vespic one. Honestly, I kind of just want the Gorbus to appear, because like, I need to provide evidence that this Gorbus exists and I haven't just made it up. But yeah, basically, I want to just encounter the... Oh, there we go. Conveniently enough, I did actually catch my one at level 11 and it was male. And I don't name it, I don't think of a name for it for a good while. I think it's actually just named Gorbus until level... I think it's until like around about the 3rd or 4th gym. Okay, so if this thing's actually modest, I'm gonna lose it. Is it the modest one that I caught? No, it's hasty. But yeah, basically, we do catch a Gorbus, and R1 is modest. So, with that, I'm gonna run back to the Pokemon Center, heal, save, and end off the episode, and we'll be back to, like, the actual playthrough in the next episode. But again, if possible, I will try... Again, if possible, I will try to actually get, whatchamacallit? If at all possible, I will try to get the original recording of this uploaded as an unlisted one, and to be able to be watched. So, so you can actually see what the original was. But with that, I'm going to end off this episode here, and I have some grinding to do before I actually challenge the Canalave City Gym. So yeah, in the next one I'll actually be recording, I'll be actually fighting the rival before the gym in Canalave City. So I'll hopefully see you all, well, in the continuation next time, and in that one in probably like 10 episodes time. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Okay, later.